and, you know, hop on a beat. And, you know, I heard the girls be making money in this club. So this gonna be the one. This gonna be the one. I could feel it. This gonna be the one. She was specifically looking for girls that could fit in a small or a medium. So if you were a large enough, it was not giving for you. But we really wasn't really good for real, because we almost got kicked out of this section. You gotta be a fun girl. You gotta be down for the cause. Like, you gotta be with the ish, with whatever. Like, I guess unprofessional as fuck. You got the promoters trying to the girls. So please do not think you're going to move to a city and become a bottle girl because you see so many bottle girls.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure that you cry for you. Don't think when you want me to. I control. Yeah, I control.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lisi, and I'm back again with another epic, juicy, and ghetto story time. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisi. My government is Alicia. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, what's good? What's poppin'? What's cracking? Y'all chilling? Hi, bet. Y'all see the title of today's story time. I don't know what the exact wording or verbiage is going to be, but it is something along the lines of my Houston, Texas bottle girl experience.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
Yes, your girl attempted to be a bottle girl. I wasn't a full body. Well, hey, I mean, that plays a role in you getting hired. Anyways, I wasn't a full-blown bottle girl, but you know, I did get a minor experience of the bottle girl nightlife world. So we're gonna get into it in a sec. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to give the video a big like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to let the ads run when you watch this video. Use that as a bathroom break, eat break, poop break, smoke break, whatever type of break. And also shout out to y'all, we finally hit 8,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, shout out to all y'all that have subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. Can't wait to get to 10K. Be prepared for my photo shoot, because I will be having a 10K photo shoot. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for now, y'all. Let's just get straight into the story time. Okay, y'all, so y'all see the story time of my little bottle girl experience. As y'all know, or if you don't know, I reside in Houston, Texas. Next month will make a year that I have been living out here, and you know, I have accumulated some stories in my time, in my almost 1 year of being here. This is one of them. And before I get deep into the story, I do want to let y'all know that we're going to be telling this story in order of events. There are several different events that have happened in my little bottle girl experience. So it's going to be a mixture of backstory and actual story as we're going through the story. Just a little disclaimer, because I don't want to hear nobody mouth and nobody complaining, okay? When I moved to Houston, my goal of moving to Houston was not to become a bottle girl. So let's just make that clear. I did not come here ever thinking that that was a path that I was gonna go down. I really came here, when I moved here, I already had a job and I was working at a luxury car dealership, but I had winded up leaving that job because working in the car industry, I had figured out was no longer for me. And in the time of my life when I was at the car dealership out here, I couldn't do it. And that's going to be another story for another day, but I just couldn't do it no more. So I was just like, I got to go. So it came, like, the bright idea had came to my head, like, oh my God, I should try to be a bottle girl. Like, I'm definitely gonna get hired. Like, what? This is a no-brainer. Like, I'm a baddie. Like, I got, you know, I don't know if people count YouTube as a social media following. Like, I don't feel like they do based off of my experience, but you know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of something on YouTube. So, because I knew, like, in order to even be a bottle girl, like, they be looking at, okay, do you have some type of social media presence? So that was something that I knew that they would be looking for. Check. Are you a baddie? Check. Do you know how to like be a server, essentially, because that's what being a bottle girl is. And I have serving experience, like I told y'all, worked in Applebee's. So you know what I'm saying? Like I know how to, you know what I'm saying, do what I need to do to make that money. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and also I want to say too, before I continue the story, Asia inspired me to tell this story today. So Asia, if you watching, shout out to you, boo, because your last story time had me be like, you know what, let me get up on here and tell the people too about how they do it out here. But anyways, y'all, let me continue. The bright idea came to my head like, oh, I should be a bottle girl, right? So I was just like, okay, I need to figure out, where do I even start with, you know, acquiring a bottle girl job? You know what I'm saying? Like, which direction do I go in? There is a few people out here that around whatever time I was reaching out to people trying to figure out like, okay, how do I go about getting a job? There are people that live out here in Houston that I know of, used to know, whatever the case may be, that I contacted and was like, hey, like, specifically, I knew someone specifically who did it out here. Like, I'm not going to say the specifics of where I know her from, but I know her from New York. Because as y'all might know, I'm originally from NYC, specifically Queens, because Queens get the money. Bow. Y'all know I always got to do that. Anyways, but yeah, I knew her from NYC, okay? So I had hit her up and I said, hey, like, how do I go about getting like a bottle girl job out here? Like, you know, could you put me on? And probably one or two other people to inquire about how do I obtain a job of the such. And told me to go ahead and follow the Houston, Texas casting call page. Now, this is a page that they post casting calls. Now, if you don't know what a casting call is, it's something similar to, I mean, I feel like what models have to go through, actors and actresses have to go through, where they basically have like an open audition to see, you know, the talent, see what, you know, come, first serve type of situation. So I have followed the Houston, Texas casting call page so that I could be on the lookout for when there would be a casting call that I could pull up to and, you know, get a job, like, period. Like, and it was a big risk of me to just up and leave my job without a backup plan, but I was unhappy, so I had to get up on out of there. But anywho, let me continue, because the whole thing is, as soon as I left my job at the car dealership, I was on it like right away, like just applying and stuff, applying. Actually, I was been applying to jobs before I left the car dealership because I've been wanting to leave. I was trying to secure something else, but it didn't happen like that, okay? Don't recommend if you got rent to pay. Yeah, it was like within like the first week that I had left my job, boom, a post notification for a casting call had popped up. So I was like, okay, let me tell my other homegirl about this casting call, because I have a homegirl from New York who lives out here as well. She moved out here a month before me, and you know, she was looking for opportunity as well. So I'm like, let me tell her so that, you know, we could F around and go together and we could get hired together, because my ass was so confident that I was going to get hired, okay? Boom, you know, to make the long story short, told my homegirl, we said that we was like, all right, we're gonna go, and the game plan was for me to meet her at her crib, and her man was gonna take us to the casting call from there. Mind you, for this casting call, the flyer specifically instructed that we need to be wearing heels, all black, makeup needs to be done, hair needs to be done, nails need to be done, toes need to be done, period. No exceptions. And I'm like, well, shit, you know, I already, you know, I already be staying on top of my stuff, so I'm not even worried for real, okay? But the rest of the girls, IDK. So feel me, we pull up to this casting call, and you know, immediately, like when we pulled up, the spot, like it looked like a lounge. It looked like a small lounge. It was looking a little rinky dinky. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Not even a little. It was rinky dinky. It was giving like after hour spot, but I wasn't mad. You know, I wasn't mad at it. I was mad when I went to go use the bathroom, and it looked disgusting. Like I can't even, I don't even Anywho, so basically, you know, at this little first casting call, because I went to several casting calls, girl, but we're going to get into it, okay? At this first casting call that I went to make the long story short, it was a promo team. And if you don't know what a promo team is literally in the name, a promotion team. It is a team curated by whoever, and they have X amount of bottle girls, and you know, they're not limited to one club, one lounge. They can move around. The promo team, come to find out, like, I don't know when I had found this out, but they had just started the promo team. So I'm just like,
that's suspicious.
I don't know, like, how money is gonna be guaranteed if y'all just started this promo team, but hey, what do I know? I'm new here. I'm a student to the city and to how the order of operations or how things are done here, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. With the casting call, you know, they had us fill out like basically a resume. They didn't really, I'm thinking it's gonna be like an interview type of situation, but it wasn't really giving interview. It was giving like, who looks the best? Like, who looks the best? Like, that's just the vibe and the energy it was giving. I don't know what to technically call her, if she was the person who ran the promo team or she was the house mom, because it was giving house mom, okay? She was very adamant that like,
listen, y'all, when y'all come here, y'all need to have your makeup done. Y'all need to have your nails done. Y'all need to have your toes done. You need to have your hair done at all times. Because sometimes we're going to be going out, and when we step out, we all have to look polished. If one of us looks off, all of us looks off. And matter of fact, actually, if you don't have straight teeth, I don't even want to see you either. Because I need girls with nice teeth, too.
I was like, oh. Because like, and some people might be watching this and be like, well, yeah, girl, like, this is normal. Like, your looks have to be up to par. But I didn't know, like, until me actually experiencing it for myself, like, it was that serious. Like, obviously, you know, we all have social media. We be seeing bottle girls, dancers, whoever on social media, and they always look polished, up to par. Everything is always done. But like, the way she was saying this, like, if you had one little thing off, she was cutting your ass. Like, she was cutting your ass, she was kicking you out, you was getting exiled. So okay, after we get through all of that, we basically do different little rounds of, you know, the little bottle girl dance. She had us split up into separate groups, and repeatedly, you know, we had to walk up to whatever front area of the lounge and, you know, hop on a beat, hop on a beat, hop on a beat, hop on a beat. Because if y'all don't know, or if y'all do know, if y'all go to the club, if y'all go to lounges, if y'all don't live under a rock, y'all know, like, let me get some examples. Y'all know, like, when the bottle girls come out, they have like either the little fire thingies or their signs, and you know, you gotta go left to right, left to right, left to right. And you gotta do it on the beat. And apparently there's a girl in the front and you gotta match her. You gotta match her. So we was just doing different rounds of that, and they was just looking at us. They was recording, they was whispering, you know. It looked like it was a combination of like the house mom and people that she already had on her team. And you know, it was probably like a decent amount of girls there. So I was just like, I don't know, because you know what I'm saying? I'm not the only baddie out here. I'm not the only one. So I'm like, okay, there is some competition, but you know, I was still feeling confident in myself. After we did the little rounds of this, and you know, it was giving like low-key Jocelyn's Cabaret, not for drama or anything, but just like the house mom, like instructing type of energy. Again, we was broken back up into small little groups, and the girl, the lady, she basically had like little small conversations with us, basically letting us know, thank you for your time. Oh, we had to write down our social medias. She basically let us know that we would hear from someone between today and tomorrow. And she was also telling us that we were welcomed and low-key encouraged to stay at the venue for the Turnup that night. So the moral of that little first occurrence, I did not get a call back, okay? I did not get a call back, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. But my homegirl from New York, she did tell me that And just keep this detail in mind because something similar is going to come up later on in the story. She had winded up going back with her man and a few of their people. And she said that, you know, it was a cute little vibe and they had winded up, you know, buying a bottle. But here's the thing. The house mom, for lack of a better term to call her, she said that, oh yeah, when you guys, because we were leaving and we said that we were gonna come back, and she was like, yeah, when you come back, you could get in for free. Everything is free. Y'all are good. Everything is Gucci. Da 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 da. So I was like, okay, girl. Well, let me know what happens. But she tells me that they winded up going back and winded up buying a bottle, and come to find out, that little rinky-dinky spot that they was having the casting call in, that's where we would be working. And it wasn't that big of a spot. So I'm like, how y'all got all the, you know what? Let me just continue, girl. Let me just continue with the story. Okay. So after I didn't get a call back from that casting call, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna trip about it too much. I'ma just, you know, stay on the lookout for some more casting calls because, and I'm gonna still be applying to jobs because I have rent to pay. So I can't just, you know, be out here new adulting without some money coming in. Sure enough, another casting call notification. I think y'all know how like y'all be looking at stuff on the internet and searching up stuff, and all of a sudden you start getting sponsored posts for the stuff that you was looking into. Yeah, that's what started happening. All of a sudden another casting call popped up. And I'm like, oh, okay, bet. It was some little lounge. And I'm not going to say the names of any of these places because I don't have the time for no nonsense. But yeah, so it was another little lounge. Sure enough, I had told my homegirl and we was out to this next casting call. Mind you, this casting call was probably like, it was probably like a week after like the first one we went to. So it was all within like close proximity. And you know what I think the thing is as well that I had figured out. So for this casting call, it was at, this was for sure an after hour spot. Like this was for sure an after hour small with the F spot. It was a very small venue and we were literally there for so long. First of all, when I got there, the spot wasn't even open. Like, nobody was there to open the spot. Then when the spot finally did open up, we sat up on in there. It was very small inside, and it was nothing but sections. The owner, who I guess would have been the manager and the house mom, she was telling us that she's looking for specific type of girls. She immediately asked who know how to make a hookah. Whoever raised their hand, she was like, okay, yeah, go make the hookah. They made the hookah, came back. We all puffing on the hookah. It's cute, chill vibes. Everyone's having little small talk and stuff. She passes us around some papers, not some papers, but basically not a resume, like an application in a sense, but it's like an application / questionnaire just for her to get some information on us. As we all had like filled out these little questionnaires or whatever, I had noticed that, or remembered, that one of the questions on the paper was, if your table asks you to take a shot with them, are you taking the shot? And you either like circle the bubble yes or no. I put no because I'm just like, ain't it a little unprofessional to be drinking on the job? But little did I know, you're supposed to do that as a bar girl. Barely you're supposed to do that. I wasn't fully, whatever. The owner of this spot, when she's going around, she's basically going around like looking at different people's applications. And I guess based on their answers to certain questions, she's like, oh, who's this? Who's that? And it was one girl that, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I feel like she tried to low-key like purposely humiliate this girl because this girl, she was pretty. She was a beautiful girl. Beautiful gowns, beautiful girl. But I could tell that she clearly did not have the type of like baddie aesthetic that, you know, I guess the owner was looking for. Because specifically the owner was looking for girls that, let's put this into play, she was specifically looking for girls that could fit in a small or a medium. So if you were a large enough girl, you was not, it was not giving for you. So let's go back to this girl, right? The girl, she was not, you could clearly tell she was not a small or a medium. And I don't know how she figured to single out this girl. Maybe like whenever the girl gave her paper, she specifically looked at the paper to see like what her name was, so that when she got towards the paper, she could call her out. I don't know. She had wrote something on there like, oh, she's funny, she could tell a joke or whatever. Or no, not even that she's funny, or that she could tell a joke. She was like, she's good at selling stuff. So the lady, you know, put her on the spot and was like, okay, well, let's say that, you know, you have a horse and you're trying to sell me a horse. Why should I buy the horse? And the girl did so bad. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Like, just, like, it's like, I don't... Y'all probably not getting me, but it's like y'all had to be there to know like this lady was trying to humiliate her, because the lady was like, the girl was really trying to like sell her the horse, but clearly I could tell like she had no selling skills for real, because I was in sales. And it was a mixture of the lady trying to clown her. Like, just know, like, this lady was low-key trying to clown her. Like, girl, why is you even here? What did I tell y'all, like, the protocols are for, like, being a bottle girl? The protocols are, you gotta be a baddie. You gotta have a social media following. Your hair gotta be done. Your nails gotta be done. Your toes gotta be done. Everything gotta be done. You gotta be looking polished. This girl was not looking polished. She was not a size small or medium. She had some box braids in that was looking a little, it was looking a little old, okay? The baby hairs in the front. I'm not saying you gotta have baby hairs, but the hair and it wasn't, the nails wasn't done, the toes wasn't, it just was not giving. And I feel like she purposely tried to humiliate this girl because she knew she didn't fit the par. She didn't fit the bar of the standard of whatever she was looking for in aesthetics and whatever the case may be. Then y'all, oh my God, there was this other girl in there, and I was just like, God bless her heart. Because, and no shade, but like the lady, the owner, she had got to her application or whatever. It was like, oh, let's say her name was Orange. Who's Orange? Orange, you know, and she was in full uniform. She had like some like them little fishnet stockings on, a little leotard and shit. I'm like, well, shit, I didn't know we were supposed to come dressed like literally like ready to go. She was asking the girl whatever little questions or whatever, and this girl, she was like so passionate about being a bottle girl. She was like, yo, like, I just moved here. I don't know where she moved from, but let's say she moved from like Missouri. It was one of them states where it's like, I mean, me coming from a state like NYC, a lot of other states are going to seem like slower paced to me. But like, it was one of them states where it's just like, oh shit, like you really moved from the middle of nowhere to this motherfucking city. So she was like,
yeah, I just moved from Missouri, like, and you know, I came out here because this is something I want to do. Like, I'm passionate about this shit. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, I really, like, I'm made for this. Like, I have to, like, you have to, like, pick me. Like, I have to do this.
Like, she was like, and I'm just like, and I'm not mad at you if you passionate about being a bottle girl, but it was the extent of the passion. The extent of the passion, it was just giving like she had packed up and left her hometown and all that she knew to come to Houston just to be a bottle girl. And I'm sorry, but y'all should not be packing up and leaving y'all hometowns to go to another city to be a bottle girl. That is not what we should be aspiring to do. Now, if you're aspiring to use it as, you know, a passageway to something else, something to get you some money, you know, but I don't know, like, and I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't be judging her because I was in the same predicament as her, as using it to get some money, but I was literally using it to get some money. Like, I wasn't literally leaving my hometown to come here to pursue, am I from Memphis? To pursue a career of being a bottle girl. Like, I don't feel like we should be doing stuff like that. I don't feel like we should be leaving our hometown cities to pursue a career of being a bottle girl. Unless you were already a bottle girl wherever the fuck you came from. But homegirl, I don't know her history, but it just wasn't giving that. let me just say. Now, so of course we get to the part now, y'all, where we got to do the little sign thingies. We was broken up into groups of 2, and it was like literally 2, I think it was like 2 or 3 at a time. And you know, we had to come out, hold the little things that they put the bottle in, and do the little do. And you know, I did the best that I could with what I had. I think I went last too. That's crazy. I had went last. And you know, I was really like, because from the first casting call, they had taught me like, oh yeah, you do it, smile. So, you know, I was doing that. I did the best that I could with what I had. And you know, Miss Mamas, she was cutting ass left and right. Like,
why are you holding it like that? The bottle's gonna fall out. You need some more energy.
Like, it was real. Like, you really had to be on beat on your P's and your Q's. Even the homegirl from Missouri, she was like, when I tell y'all, like, she was so serious about getting this opportunity. And you know, I'm not even mad at her. Like, you know, get your coin, do your thing, girl. But again, I'm not vouching for leaving your hometown to come to Houston to be a bottle girl. I'm not supporting that at all. And I'm gonna tell y'all why in a second. I forgot to mention as well that the owner of this establishment, she had, in the midst of us talking and having conversation and everything like that, before we got to, you know, this part of the night, she had told us like, oh, she don't condone fighting each other, but you know, if we need to put it on the floor at the end of a night, then that's what we're gonna do, and that's what goes on here at this establishment.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, you know, basically when it comes to like, you know, if there's a situation where you gotta pick up somebody's section and somebody feels some type of way, or if y'all end up dating the same man and end up fighting over the man.
She was telling us a whole story about how 2 of her bottle girls was fighting and over a man and the thing and the da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what? Like, it was just giving like drama-filled environment. It was just giving, and I don't have the time for the catty BS. You know what I'm saying? It was just giving, the way she was talking, it was just a drama-filled environment. The way she was moving, like, too, like, she didn't know, like, how many girls, like, she kept changing the numbers, low-key, or how many girls she was gonna take on, basically trying to insinuate in the same sentence, too, that she was gonna fire the entire team that she already had and get some new girls in, right? So I had just found that odd, but just, whatever. Just keep following me, y'all. Keep following me. We finished the do. Miss Mama's, the owner, she basically lets us know like she's basically gonna start doing cuts, and there's gonna be like 3 or 4 different rounds of cuts. Girl, my ass was the first to go. Okay.
That kind of hurted me though.
Well, actually, I wasn't the first to go. That's a lie. But I was in that first round of cuts for sure. She said, Alicia. I'm like, I told this lady my name is Alicia, but you know what? Let me just get my bags and go. Let me just go, because the environment is low-key giving, you know, unprofessional. Oh, and then I even forgot to say too, like, what was giving unprofessional about it was the whole putting it on the floor, the whole possibility you might be fighting one of your co-workers. Even when I remember how I told y'all about when we had filled out the little job application, and there was a question on there that said, oh, if your table asks you to drink, yes or no, are you doing that? She was like,
wow, like, I'm surprised a whole lot of y'all like said that y'all not gonna drink with y'all tables. Like, y'all not gonna drink with y'all table. Like, okay.
So I feel like a lot of girls was automatically X'd out because we said we wasn't gonna drink with our tables. Mind you, I now understand, you know, after everything has played the way it has played, that is, I guess, a part of the culture of being a bottle girl, you know, being able to turn up, if you wish, with your table, with your guests, whoever the case may be. And you know what, that low key, I had put no, because it's just like, I don't be drinking alcohol. Like, my drinking days was when I was in college. When I drink now, it is literally barely, if like rarely, not even barely, rarely. And it's when, like, let's say I'm going out and, you know, I want to have a little sip of something, and majority of the times I go out, I don't even drink. Like, I don't drink. Like, I don't drink. I drink socially, and I'm not even social. So that should tell y'all, you know, what's going on. So I'm like, that's when I started thinking like, I don't know. I don't know about this little bottle girl thing because, you know, they want us to be polished. And I don't have a problem being polished, but like all the time, like I can't have a day like where I'm looking a little raggedy. Like I gotta have hair done, nails done, everything did on my NY girls. Let me see your hands. Wave it. I'm sorry, y'all. I just be getting like off topic. But anyways, yeah. So when I had left up out of the casting call, I had called my ex.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
I had called my ex and I was just basically telling him like, yo, like, I don't understand like what the problem is. Like I show up, like my face is beat. Like what's going on? And you know, he basically telling me like, it's not you. Like he was like, you're a beautiful girl. Like you are a very attractive girl. But you know, when it comes to these casting calls, like they just be looking for whatever they looking for. Like some people, they might be looking for a light-skinned girl. Some people might be looking for only Spanish girls. Some people might be looking for girls with BBLs. Like it all depends on whoever is holding this casting call. It depends on them and what they're looking for. And he knew that information because he is from out here and, you know, I guess he be outside. I don't know. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? He know, like, what's going on out here and how and why things go the way they go because y'all get what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, because he basically putting things into perspective to me to like, don't put yourself down because these people didn't choose you. Don't think that you're not pretty because these people didn't choose you. Don't think that you're not up to par of being a baddie just because these people didn't choose you. Like they're just looking for what they're looking for. Mind you, at this point, y'all, I didn't know based off of from the first casting call and the second casting call, I did not know who they picked, what girls they picked, what they looked like. My homegirl from New York, she winded up getting cut from that casting call as well. So we was both out of there, okay? And at this point, I was just like, I don't know how many like casting calls I got left in me because, you know, I'm taking time to get ready, to do my makeup, to make sure my hair is cute. Both of these two casting calls, you know, I had bought like brand new outfits just to go to the casting call because I'm just like, no, I need to look like, you know, when you have clothes but you don't have clothes, like y'all know what I'm saying? So it was like some stuff like that and I'm just like, I keep investing into these little casting calls thinking I'm going to get called for the casting and I'm not. So what's going on? I was just like up in the air on if I wanted to go to any more because I'm like, I don't know, like is this for me or is it not for me or is God saving like, you know, a better opportunity at another club for me, IDK. So lo and behold, this is where shit start getting you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was probably like, again, a few days later, a week later. And come to find out, y'all, it was so many casting calls back to back around this time frame, April, May time frame. That's like the season of when they be having like casting calls, like when all the clubs out here be wanting to get new girls. So that's why I did with so many casting calls back to back. Because like I said, this next casting call, which was the third one that I went to, was like within a week or so after this second one that I went to. And I was like, okay, third time gonna be a charm. Third time gonna be a charm. Like,
Cap.
we gonna get this. We gonna get some shmoney. Like this casting call, I had seen, again, it was like an ad. It was a flyer that had popped up. This was a casting call for a very popular club. I have heard of this club. I have seen of celebrities going to this club. This is one of the most popping clubs out here in Houston. And I'm not going to say the name, but you know, if y'all figure out where it is, that's on y'all, okay? I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going there because, you know, I've heard some things about the club and, you know, the club, and, you know, I heard the girls be making money in this club. So this gonna be the one. This gonna be the one. I could feel it. This gonna be the one for this specific casting call and for this specific club. They had specifically instructed that you show up in a bathing suit, okay? Because this was a club. It was like an indoor outdoor type of club where they had like an indoor. They literally had an indoor part. and they had an outdoor part that had a pool, or that has a pool, okay? And the sections, you know, are all around the pool area. So they was like, show up in your bathing suit, because I'm assuming the uniform for the girls, or not even assuming, when I got there, I saw that the uniform for the girls working there, they was all in bathing suits, okay? I sit in, they instruct us on like a little area of where to sit in. It was literally only me and some other girl, and it was like little by little, slow by slow, other girls started trickling in. It wasn't as much girls, I would say, as the first 2 casting calls, or maybe because, you know, I wasn't really seeing all that was going on, because come to find out, they had a casting call a week before that same club. But anyways, let me continue. So I'm sitting in a little section or whatever, and I'm basically just waiting on them to call me up so that they can speak to me, whatever they're gonna do. Now this casting call, it was different from the first 2, because it actually gave like interview, like they wanted to know like who you were, what you're about, what's your social media, blah blah blah. Let me put this as a perspective for y'all, you know, what I was looking like. You know what, I might insert a picture somewhere just to show y'all like what I was looking like. But I had a bikini on, and I had like a little cover up skirt, you know, that I could easily take off. It was still showing that it was a part of my outfit. So I go and I had speak to, it was 3 people basically that I was speaking to, but I was mainly speaking to like 2 of them, and the 3rd person was kind of just watching. One of the guy, and I'm just gonna name him like Peanut for lack of a better name. Peanut, you know, he was a promoter. Then there was some other girl, she was like a bottle girl, and then there was some other guy, I don't know like if he wasn't the club owner, but he had some type of allegedly high ranking, whether it was in the club or for this specific promo group, because I don't think, I'm not 100% sure if for this casting call we were being hired. I think we were being hired like at the club specifically, because they said that everything would have had to go through the owners, and the owners would be the one that make the final decision. Girl, I don't know. But just know when it was time to interview me, you know, they was talking to me, asking me like, okay, what's your name? Where you from? Your age? I'm telling them like, yes, I have a social media following. And they basically asked me like, you know, if it came down to you having to bring some people out, like how many people do you think that you could bring out? Because, you know, you're telling us that you moved here from NYC like a few months ago, like, how do we know that you could bring people out? Because I'm telling you, they're very focused on social media following, looks, and how many people you can bring out, because they want you to be able to book tables. Like, if you know about the bottle girl culture a little bit, you know. And I basically tell him like, you know, I feel confident that I could, you know, if y'all tell me a day to bring some people out, I feel confident that I could bring out like 10 people. And they was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. And I don't even think I said 10 people. I think I probably said like about 20 people, like, which was a drag. But, you know, I feel like at that point, yeah, I've only been out here for a few months, but I done met some people, okay? And I felt confident that I could pull some strings together to bring some people out. Peanut, he then goes to point out that, because when I first had started talking to them, he had asked me like, oh, like, are you comfortable with wearing a bathing suit as your uniform? And I was just like, And, you know, I genuinely, you know, felt like that was something that I would be able to do. I never walked around in a bathing suit, you know, at a job, having to work and basically be a server and wait tables and, you know, take people's orders. But, you know, it was something that I was optimistic and open to doing. Peanut, he gonna go say to me,
you talking about you're comfortable wearing a bathing suit for work, but, you know, you got that cover up still on.
I was like, okay, well shit, like, I guess I'll take the cover up off. So, you know, I took the little skirt off or whatever, and I'm in like my full, you know, bikini wear. At this point now, they're like, yeah, we need to get like some pictures of you and like a 360 video. And I'm like, okay, because, you know, the body was okay, but the body wasn't T like how she is today, okay? Because that was some months ago. It been shooting at the gym, okay? Whoever was just there with the phone taking the footage of me. They just got footage of me. I'm like, okay, this is different. But again, anyone who's in the bottle girl life, you know, this might be normal. This is, you know, the things I'm bringing up is normal. But, you know, for me, I've never had to do all of that to get chosen for a job. You know what I'm saying? Peanut basically just told me, like,
if you want to stay for when, you know, we eventually open up the club, like, you're more than welcome to stay and, like, turn up and, you know, chill with us, da-da-da-da.
And, you know, I'm just thinking, like, okay, based off of the first casting call I went to, the lady, remember the house mom lady, she invited or encouraged us to stay after the casting call was done and turn up and have fun. So I'm figuring out in my head, like, oh, maybe this will help me if I stay and turn up. They'll be able to see, like, I'm a fun girl. Like, I'm a fun girl because I'm down for the party and I'm down. Because that's what you kind of got to be like as a bottle girl. You got to be a fun girl. You got to be down for the cause. Like, you got to be with the ish, with whatever. Like, I guess. I had met, you know, a plethora of girls. It was some girls that, you know, they was already bottle girls or they was already working in like establishments that were focused on your aesthetic. And, you know, I was there for some hours. And then, you know what I did notice at this establishment as well? I had noticed that the girls that were working, at least the girls that were clearly bottle girls, they were all of lighter skin complexion. Well, not all, but damn near all, mostly all of the girls. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I can just assume that whether they were in a promo group or they were hired by, you know, the team, all the girls looked ambiguous. Like, like they were of lighter complexion, and if they had some type of melanin in them, they did still look some type of ambiguous. Like, let's just point that out. And they did have girls who were working like hookah. They were the hookah girls. Like, I don't know if they were making the hookah or if they were just taking orders, but I noticed like a clear difference in the way that the bottle girls looked and the way that the hookah girls were looking. The hookah girls were of darker complexions. Like, they were clearly, you know, black girls and of darker complexion. Okay, let me just point that out there. But, you know, I wasn't paying too much attention to all of that because I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm good because the guy told me, not even the guy, Peanut, you know, he had told me to stay. He done bought everybody shots, giving me a shot o'clock, baddie, shot o'clock. We're baddie, shot o'clock. That was that day, right? So I'm thinking, like, okay, you know, I'm probably gonna get chose, like, or something. Like, that's what I'm just thinking in my head. I had wound up leaving the casting call that day. Peanut had basically let me know that someone would be reaching out to me between the next couple of days. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, I feel like I made a good first impression. And it was even so crazy too, because Peanut had walked me out of the spot. He had walked me out of the spot, you know, on some like, not on some like doing too much shit, but on some little gentleman shit, you know, to my car or whatever. I'm like, okay, let me know, da-da-da. He even telling me, oh, he gonna tap in with one of his other spots to, you know, see if he can even get me like a little opportunity there as well. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm really sitting here thinking, like, you know, I made a rapport, like a good rapport and a good first impression with Peanut. The days are going by and I have not heard anything from Peanut as of yet. Mind you, boom, like I told you I was like networking and meeting girls in there. So one of the girls in there, she had gave me the information or the Instagram to one of the spots that she work at, and she was like, yeah, just DM them and see if they're hiring, but I'm pretty sure they are hiring right now. I had winded up DMing this other spot, okay, and asked them if they were hiring. They tell me that they were, and they tell me to come in. When I go to this spot this one day, because they had told me to come on like a Thursday, when I had pulled up, whoever I was supposed to meet with, they were not there. I don't know where they was at, but they was not there. I seen like the girls, they were clearly, you know, opening up. It was giving like small little lounge, restaurant lounge type of vibes. And you could tell like everybody is setting up, getting ready for the shift. And I had told one of the girls like, hey, yeah, I'm here for like an interview. And she had told me to just sit at the table and that the manager was going to be there in a 10-minute time frame. I had noticed that at this other spot, it was one of the promoters from the club that I was just at with the pool and the bathing suits. but I didn't have like no direct exchanges with him. But I had pulled up to this little spot only a few days after the pool club. So I'm like, I know he probably gonna recognize me. Like, he probably gonna recognize me because I recognize him. And in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, he's the manager. But no, like, come to find out, you know, he was the promoter. And, you know, he really ain't have no pull for real as far as me getting hired or not. But yeah, so I had seen him and I'm thinking like, okay, that's the so-called manager that I need to speak with, because he had seen me sitting at a table and he was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to you in a second. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's when the girl who had told me to wait for the manager, she came back up to me and was like, oh, the manager is gonna be here in 10 minutes. I was like, oh, the guy, what should I name him? I'm gonna just name him Alki, because he admitted to being an alcoholic. So Alki, I told her, oh, Alki, he told me like, oh, he was just gonna grab me in a second. She was like,
He's not the manager, girl. Like, he
basically trying to tell, like the way she said that was like, you don't need to be talking to this man because he not gonna do nothing for you. Nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing for you, sis. Me not, you know, picking up on what was going on at the time, I kind of picked it up, but I didn't listen. Like, that's kind of what happened. And he cut straight to the chase. He's like, yeah, so
Do you think you could bring people in? Like, I just need to know from now, do you think that you could bring people in?
he was just trying to like get me out of there because he didn't even talk to me for that long. He wasn't sold. And mind you, he was one of the people that, like I told y'all, I had seen at the other club, and his energy, like when I seen him, like, I don't know what it was, but it was something about the energy that wasn't energizing. I don't know, like something was off, but we'll get to it in a second. Mind you, this is like the 4th spot that I have gone to at this point. I was just so like determined to find a replacement source of income for the one that I had just lost, like that I was not stopping. Like, I was on some like, I'm going to turn all of my no's into yeses. Like, I don't care what these people say. I probably should have waited for the actual manager, because for all I know, the actual manager would have spoken to me. Maybe they would have given me a chance. I feel like that's who I was probably talking to on Instagram from the page that the girl told me to go to, because I definitely wasn't talking to Alki. I was talking to someone else. So someone else wanted me to come and wanted to speak to me, but that was the person who I guess was running late that I did not wait for. But you know what? It is what it is. If that place was for me, it would have been for me. And yeah. So now at this point, y'all, I'm low-key like feeling defeated, but still optimistic, because now at this point, it has been a week since the casting call at the pool club. I'm thinking like, you know, with the interaction I had with him, I'm thinking our interaction went good. So, you know, I'm gonna be good, but I haven't heard nothing, so I don't know. Lo and behold, to my surprise, I don't know what day of the week it was, but it was a weeknight, like 7:30. Peanut texts my phone.
Good evening. This is Peanut from the Pool Club. My apologies for the late response. We want to move forward with you in the next step in the hiring process. Are you available and free this Sunday?
And this was on a Tuesday night. So of course I get back to Peanut and I tell him like, yes, thank you for getting back to me. I am available. What time do I need to be there and what's the dress code?
This portion of the hiring process is the marketing and interacting process. I'm not sure if you was asked at the interview how many people you think you could bring, so we're gonna put it to the test this Sunday. All guests that arrive with you are free. Update me by Saturday about how many, and we'll coordinate with the hostess about sections/tables.
And he basically told me, you know, when I get there, just tell the people at the door my name. They'll know to just let me in, me and my people in, and that's just that. This was a Tuesday and I was supposed to go there on a Sunday. Within these couple of days, I had noticed I was then added to a group chat with the name of the club. And in the group chat, there's 11 people in the chat still, but a substantial amount of people had left. Like, I think it was probably about like 25 girls or people in this chat, and majority of them were, I'm assuming, potential candidates to become a bottle girl at this club. That was another red flag for me, because I'm just like, why are so many girls in this chat?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
they're not hiring all these girls. Peanut created the group chat so that if anybody had any questions, like it could be asked in the group chat, and I guess he wouldn't have to repeat himself.
The objective this weekend only is for us to see how your performance is on 3 different areas: marketing, social media, bringing people in, and how you interact with others in a party environment. All of these things play a part in waitressing. Just because you bring 3 people in doesn't disqualify you, and just because you bring 40 people in doesn't give you a for sure spot. But I'm not gonna lie, the person with the 40 will get a little more shine, but yeah, you get my drift. Reach out to your people, get as many as you can to come. Use videos and flyers for promoting. If you want a personal flyer, text me personally. All guests that are with you do not have to pay. We ask that everyone make it before 4 p.m. If not, everybody with you, if not, you see the grammar is if.
Basically, he's saying after 4 p.m. you have to pay. And in parentheses, this is a following direction exercise, LOL. If you have any questions, put them in here because some of y'all might have questions. I'ma drop bottle pricing soon. So, you know, in this chat, he basically giving the rundown on what's going to happen on Sunday. He basically telling everybody to send photos of yourself so that, you know, we can get you guys flyers made so that you can start promoting that you are going to be at this club this weekend, and that, you know, we can see how many people you really can or can't bring in. So, you know, of course, I'm on my end. I'm gathering people, whoever I can gather, which it wasn't a whole bunch of people, but for me, only being out here for the time that I was out here for, I feel like I gathered what I could. Sunday came, you know, my god brother pulled up. I was there. I was supposed to have some other people probably pull up. Not probably, but I was supposed to have some other people pull up. Some people was running late. Some people could no longer come. I initially thought I was probably going to have about over 10 people pulling up on behalf of me. But I probably maybe had about like 9 people that eventually like showed up. Let me get to like all that went on this specific day at this spot. And when I had pulled up to the club, me and my godbrother and his people had got there at the same time. So we was able to walk in together, no issues. And sure enough, Alki is at the door, I guess, managing the door or whatever. And Alki's like,
oh, I know you. I
was like, do you? Yeah, I'm back. No thanks to you because you wasn't gonna give me an opportunity, but you know, your people was trying to give me an opportunity. Well, I didn't say all of that to him, but I'm just saying that in my head. Y'all catch me? Okay, cool. We get situated at the door. Me and my people go in. Alki basically tells me to look for some other guy. Mind you, this is not, no, he don't even tell me to look for some other guy. I go inside and I text Peanut and I tell Peanut, hey Peanut, I just got to the club. Where are you at? Where am I supposed to go? Peanut tells me to go talk to, remember how I told y'all like it was 3 people in my little interview? It was Peanut, the bottle girl, and some other guy who was allegedly a higher up mother effer. He told me to look for the higher up mother effer. He was going to tell me where me and my people could sit. Okay. Finally, I find the higher up mother effer by the grace of God, and he directs me to a section that me and my people can go and sit in. And I think, you know, what should have been specified was that anyone who's with you can get in for free, but, you know, anything else in the club you have to pay for, which I kind of figured that would be the case. They was about to be giving out, you know, free liquor and bottles and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I would think because, you know, they told us that anyone that was with us would be free, maybe like the drinks and the bottles would have been discounted and the food would have been discounted. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because it's still, you know, like I said, it's still a business. They still trying to make, you know, they money. It's like they was trying to sell to us that like, yeah, you basically will be able to be here and party for free as long as you are bringing in people, but didn't make clear that we still, if we wanted to actually like indulge in liquor and food, we would still have to pay. I don't know, whatever. Let me just continue, y'all. Let me just continue. We're in the section that higher up guy has put us in. A bottle girl comes to our section. She basically asks like, oh, do we have a reservation? What's our reservation name? I tell her my name. Because that's what the people who told me to come here, the people who told me to come here, they told me to say my name. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying my name. So the bottle girl, she goes wherever she goes and she comes back and she's like,
Yeah, so I looked up your name and I don't see your name as any of the reservations.
and I'm like, okay, well, higher up told me to sit here, so you need to go speak to him. So she's like, okay, like I'm gonna go speak to him. I'm like, okay, girl. She can't find higher up. That's what happened. She couldn't find him. So because she couldn't find higher up, she basically tells me whoever she spoke to alleged that me and my people had to now go upstairs to a whole other different section in a whole other different area, which I was confused about because I'm just like, girl, I'm not moving nowhere. Period. Until higher up tells me to get up and move, we're staying right motherfucking here. So I had searched high and low. I didn't search high and low. It didn't take me that long to find him. I had to walk around a little bit to find him, but I eventually found him and I had told him like, hey, the girl is telling me to move sections. Like, am I supposed to be moving? He was like,
No, stay where you're at.
I was like, oh, well, shit. Okay, sir. So I will stay where I'm at. So she had came back and she was like, oh, do you guys want to buy some bottles? And I'm like, buy some bottles? Like, I thought maybe I thought wrong. Clearly, I was delusional for thinking that, you know, we would be covered because like I thought, you know, you and your people getting for free meant that, you know, because we would give you some type of complimentary. The way like they broadcasted this to me was like, okay, you and your people is gonna be good, but we really wasn't really good for real because we almost got kicked out of this section and still had to pay $200 to be here. Like, obviously we was not gonna be in a section and not have, you know, girl, I don't know, but whatever. We ordered the bottles. We ordered a hookah, we ordered some food, we was turning up and having a jolly old time. We was going and coming from the pool at our leisure, and we was just having a good old jolly old time. In the midst of all of this, you know, the group chat is just blowing up because people are texting in the group chat like, oh, I'm here, where am I supposed to go? I'm upstairs, I'm downstairs, I'm here. People, I don't know who none of these people are. Okay, I know who some of them is, but I don't even really know them for real. I met them a week before. Peanut, he's texting in the chat. He's like, oh, I'm on my way there still. It's my birthday weekend, so I'm a little behind. But, you know, once I get to the venue, I'm going to let you guys know. And I'm going to call everyone to come to my section. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just be on the lookout for Peanut's text and arrival to the establishment. In the midst of, you know, us turning up in our little section, going to and fro from the pool to the section to pool, walking around, whatever we're doing, I had winded up seeing one of the girls that I had met at the casting call. And I'm like, oh my God, like, hey girl. But I had seen her, but mind you, she was working. She was working. Like, me, I was in a space where I was still in like a gray area on if I was gonna get hired or not, but she was in attire. Like, she was wearing the bathing suit for this club. She was walking around, taking orders, bringing out bottles. And I'm like, oh, hey girl. I'm like, oh snap, well, when did they let you know, like, you know, you was Gucci? She was like,
Yeah, they had hit me up like 2 days later.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
I was like, oh, really? Like, okay. Because I'm just like, shit not clicking. Like, shit, that's when shit was starting to be a little off for me because I'm just like, well, if they already have someone hired and working here, why did the rest of us 20-something girls need to come and do all this extra, bring people in? If y'all already have a girl from the same casting call that I went to, mind you, this is a girl, she was kind of like in the same position as me. She had just moved from another state and, you know, was trying to find her way out here. So I'm just like, how is she already on the floor working But y'all got the rest of these girls here trying to generate business for the business, and we're still in a gray area on if we're going to get hired or not. Or us being hired is going to depend on, like Peanut has said, how we're turning up, how many people we bring out, and how we market everything on social media. I was marketing the F out of it on social media, okay? I was doing what, like, I was playing the role of being a bottle girl, like promote. At some point, you know, Peanut shows up, and it was so funny because when Peanut had walked up to the club, when he came to the door, I was by the door because I was getting one of my people from the door. And I had seen him walk up, and it was like the energy was given like super macho, like he's him. But you know, it was his birthday, so maybe, you know, he had a little birthday attitude, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he entitled to that, that's fine. But you know, the energy was very much different from when I had met him the first go around. Like, it was giving like, don't talk to me, I'm a diva. Like, it was whatever. Nevertheless, I said what's up to him, he said what's up back. He had walked in with like a whole bunch of girls or whatever, and that was that. Where his little section was for, I guess, his little birthday section, he was literally right by where like the DJ area was. So his section, you know, it was definitely giving center of attention section. Like, it was where the DJ was at and everything. He had texted in the group chat like, hey, anyone who's here, come to my section. My section is where I just told you I was at. I had went into the section, and you know, I had seen other girls from the casting call. Some of them are friendly, some of them were not. You know, I was just trying to vibe with whoever I could vibe with. Like, I be vibing with girls, but some girls I don't be vibing with, and I could just tell like by the energy it wasn't, yeah, it was just giving like a competition. Like, it was just giving a competition, who could turn up the most and who was the baddest bitch. I'm trying to vibe like, hey, don't bump into the music, doing whatever I'm doing to, you know, show that I'm here. Like, I'm here and I'm turning up and I'm here. Then it had came to a certain point, like, girl, I was ready to go. Like, I was ready to go. Me and my people was ready to go. It was really lit though. It was a fun time. I had a fun, good, jolly old time there. And you know, I was just basically like, okay, I just gotta wait for them to basically contact me and tell me that I'm hired at this point, because you know. So now y'all, it is the next day and the group chat is not going off, but it is kind of going off because girls are writing in the group chat now, basically wanting to know like, are we getting an update? When are we getting an update on who's getting hired, what's going on, what we're doing? Peanut, he was taking, you know, his sweet old time to respond. It was he was taking his sweet old time to respond to the group chat. Multiple people were wondering when we were gonna get an update. Peanut gets back to the group chat at nighttime, 8:35 p.m.
Good evening. Still trying to shake back, so my apologies. I will reach out by tomorrow, or higher up will.
And just writing a whole bunch of other miscellaneous BS. Now it's probably like a few days later, and I don't know if people were getting answers or what was going on, but that's when I started noticing like people were leaving the group chat left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. Oh, y'all know what I forgot to mention? It just came back to my head. Before we continue on with the group chat, let's go back to when we was at the club for this whole day of testing, the day we were getting tested to see like our turn up skills and our bringing out people skills. When we were in my section, it was one of my homegirls who was there. Somehow, Alki had winded up in my section. Alki, him and my homegirl, you know, they was sitting by each other, and you know, I could tell like they was like flirting with each other, whatever, and I was just letting them do their thing. I was like, I do not care because I got a man, or I had a man past 10 that had nothing to do with me. So, you know, I was letting them do their thing, blah, blah, blah. I could see like Alki was kind of getting a little touchy-feely with my homegirl, but I'm like, she grown. So if she gonna let this man, then that's her business. That has nothing to do with me. You know, Alki, he has said something along the lines of,
oh yeah, your homegirl, she gonna be the reason why you get hired. She about to help you get hired.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sensing that this is coming out of his mouth. He's saying this like, oh yeah, your homegirl gonna be the reason why you get hired, or she gonna help you get hired. He's saying that because he getting to feel on some ass. That's why he's saying that. He's getting to feel on some ass. So you know what that told me in that moment? That some of these girls be f***ing for their position.
I said what I said.
Y'all have to be. Y'all have to be. There's no way. There's no, because for this man to say out of his mouth that I'm gonna get hired basically because, you know, he's being able to get touchy-feely and flirty and maybe have a possibility of smashing somebody, all that tells me is that people is f***ing for jobs.
You are going to jail! Period!
Am I bugging? People are getting picked out for jobs. People are getting trafficked for jobs. And the pimp culture is very big in Houston. The pimp culture is like, I don't know what y'all heard about Houston. One thing that I've learned about Houston is very big on pimping hoes, drugs, and alcohol, and partying. Those are the four, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a specific type of, you know, community, and even, you know, dibbling and dabbling in the other communities as well. That's what's, and I'm not saying that happened to me. Okay, let's just be clear. I'm just telling y'all what I have seen since being out here. So, you know, I was gagged when that man was talking about, oh, my homegirl gonna help me get the job. Because clearly I wasn't, you know, doing the, and not to say that she was doing the most, but clearly I was keeping it very cute and very professional. Like, I wasn't being overzealous with anything. At least what I think. I was being myself. I wasn't doing too much. I wasn't flirting with nobody because I was respecting my relationship. Now let's go back to the group chat now, right? Where people are literally asking questions in this chat. We are not getting no responses. Like, the response times are before, like, the day where we all had to come in and, you know, bring people in. Peanut was responding like this. But now that that day is done, and I guess they got whatever they needed out of that day, they meaning, I don't know, the club owners, the promoters, whoever's in charge of orchestrating and running stuff. And now it's probably like 4 or 5 days after that Sunday that we had to come in and, you know, put our best foot forward, I guess. Peanut writes in the chat,
My apologies, y'all. I have a lot of personal stuff I've been handling. I know higher up has reached out to a few, and I'll reach out to the rest. Be a little patient with me, please.
Boy, if you don't...
girl, no, you know what how people responded to that text message? People was leaving the conversation. People was leaving the conversation because at this point, it's giving BS and runaround.
Clock it.
Like, literally no one responded to that message. It was a certain point where I had reached out to Peanut directly because we had our own personal text thread. I reached out to Peanut directly, asking Peanut, like, hey, just wanted to know if there was an update on the position. Like, is it still open? Like, I didn't get a response. I didn't get a response. Till this day, I didn't get a response. So I was taking the non-response as a response, like, yeah, we're not going with you. And yet again, I had my time, effort, and energy wasted because I'm like, y'all knew y'all wasn't hiring me. Like, let's be effing for real. Y'all knew y'all wasn't hiring me. And y'all probably asking, like, how you knew they wasn't gonna hire you? Like, how you knew, like, they really, because I was texting like another girl who was in the same predicament as me, pulled up to the casting call, got called back for this BS to see how well we turn up. She was basically telling me, she hold on, let me pull up the messages. Let me see exactly what she said. She had hit me up asking me like, oh, did you ever hear back from the pool club? And I was like, yeah, no, I never heard back. They playing games because why did I contact Peanut directly and he never responded? But before that day, he was responding quite promptly to my text messages. She was like, yeah, they just used us for promo.
Clock it.
That's what it was giving. It was giving we were used for promo because, like I said, y'all, when I pulled up for that day where we're supposed to show how well we could turn up, I seen a girl from the casting call already there in uniform. So I was trying to figure out what the rest of us needed to be there for if y'all already had someone basically onboarded.
Clock it.
And when y'all was done with us, y'all literally was done with us and disposed of us. Couldn't even give us an answer. Couldn't even say like, hey, yeah, like, unfortunately, I'm moving forward with other people, but you know, if there's any openings in the future, we'll let you know. Of course they wouldn't have done that, because let me tell y'all something about the whole bottle girl in nightlife. It is unprofessional. It is unprofessional as fuck. You got the promoters trying to the girls, okay, probably trying to pimp them out as well. The communication is trash, and it's super superficial. Like, it is superficial AF, just down to like how you gotta look, how you gotta present yourself, down to the types of girls that they choose, because majority of the girls are girls that are light-skinned and racially ambiguous. Then you gotta low-key drink. You gotta low-key drink on the job, so you gotta low-key be an alcoholic on the job. It's just like, girl, it's a whole lot it's a whole lot to impact, like a whole lot of stuff going on with just to become a bottle girl. So at that point, y'all, I had given up, okay, on the whole bottle girl thing. But you know when one door closes, another one opens, because it was literally that same week that I had figured out I had gotten played, okay? That I had gotten played by these promoters, by these clubs. They literally just used me and the rest of the girls to generate business for the club, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a poppin' popular club. Why do y'all have to use girls and pretend like y'all are really giving them a job opportunity when y'all are not? I mean, some of them, some girls probably did, but those girls were already in the clear. Y'all used the rest of us strictly for promo, knowing damn well y'all were not gonna give us no type of job opportunity, no type of nothing. So yeah, that within like that same week of being in limbo, trying to figure out if I was gonna get hired at this place or not, my current job contacted me wanting to interview me, and to make the long story short, I had got that job and I have been there ever since. Even my ex, he was telling me like around the time like when I had first got into trying to become a bottle girl, he was telling me too that with these casting calls, like, it's not rare that you would get picked, but it's a slimmer chance that girls get picked for the casting calls. One, because these people, promoters, club owners, whoever, they be looking for whatever they're looking for, whatever look and aesthetic they're looking for in specific. And then he told me as well, like, a lot of the girls that do get hired and are actually bottle girls out here, they're bottle girls out here because they know somebody. They gotta connect in the club, like whoever the connect is, whether it be a promoter, a club owner, or an actual bottle girl, they know someone who can directly get them in. So the casting calls, like, it's giving the casting calls is really for shits and giggles. Like, it's not for shits and giggles, because girls do get hired, but if you're thinking you're gonna get hired because you have a good spirit and great energy and you're a hard worker, you're thinking wrong. You're not gonna get hired based off of that with being a bottle girl out here in Houston, Texas. You're getting hired based off of your looks, your social media following, and how much of a fun girl they think you are. Okay? And yeah, and even after that, y'all, because it was like recently, probably like a month ago, I was still on my kick of trying to secure another source of income for myself. I had reached out to higher up. I had reached out to him. I don't know if he is part owner or he works with some other little restaurant. Well, I don't want to say little, but some other restaurant out here. And I was just like, you know what, let me just reach out, because I had on Instagram, let me just reach out and, you know, see if he has any job opportunities right now. The worst he can say is no. But when I reached out to him, He left me on scene too. Like he ain't even respond. Like I don't know what's going on with the promoters out here, the people who work in the nightlife in the club, but they don't even be having the decency to tell you straight up, like, we're moving forward with another candidate. No, we don't have any positions open. Like, they just love giving you like the runaround and BS and just leaving you in limbo. Like that's what this the bottle girl nightlife scene, if you're trying to get a job in that area, that's what it's giving. If you're trying to get a job in that area, and especially if you don't know nobody out here for real, because if you know somebody out here that, you know what I'm saying, could get you in somewhere, you better off at that point. At this point, I have given up on trying to be a bottle girl. It's giving, it's not for me. It's giving like I don't fit the criteria of what they're looking for, because if y'all look at my skin complexion, and I don't care if somebody is mad that I'm bringing skin complexion into this, because I have been to several clubs. The only club that seems diverse and inclusive out here is the strip club, okay? But the rest of the clubs, when it comes to bottle girls, it's very much on the lighter end of the spectrum. Now, granted, there are some promo groups that I have seen that have, you know, chocolate girls, melanated girls, but it is a specific club out here, okay? And I'm not gonna say the name, but just know the theme is giving Little Cabin in the Woods, okay? All the girls are light-skinned at that club. And I don't have nothing against light-skinned girls. I have nothing, like, listen, I love all the girls. I love the black girls, the white girls, the light-skinned girls, the dark-skinned girls, the Asian girls, the Spanish girls, all the girls. I with all the girls, but I'm just telling y'all what I have seen out here and what I have noticed. And it's not even just the clubs. I think it's just the South, period, is more in favor of lighter skin. If you have lighter skin out here, you're gonna be a bit more higher up in the rankings. And that specific club that I said is giving Little Cabin in the Woods, all I saw was light-skinned girls. Like, every single girl was of a lighter complexion. I was like, okay, well, I will never be able to work here. That is basically the story time of my experience of trying to become a bottle girl in Houston, Texas. Like I said earlier in this story time, y'all, if your goal is to, not just Houston specifically, any city, but if your goal is to move to a city and become a bottle girl, your goals, you need to reevaluate your goals, because just based off of this story that I told y'all, there is literally no guarantee that you are actually going to become a bottle girl. So please do not think you're going to move to a city and become a bottle girl because you see so many bottle girls. And don't think that being a bottle girl is peaches and cream and shits and giggles, and, you know, they're just making all this money without anything that they're gonna have to deal with. Because I could just imagine what goes on in the actual, like let's say you actually get the job and you have to walk around in a bikini. You know, you already have the promoters trying to do little weird nasty shit, okay? Then the customers, you're gonna have men that are customers. You're appealing, you have to have this appeal, you know what I'm saying? So ain't no telling like what the girls be encountering, what really be going on, what type of unhinged, immoral, non-integrity things are going on. I don't know, but I feel like God did not want me to be in that environment. On top of the fact that, you know, part of the job, alcohol, a large part of the job, alcohol is involved. And I'm someone who, I'm not an alcohol consumer. It is very social. It is a very social thing for me. I can't even tell y'all the last time I drank some.
Cap.
Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie, because I went to the club. I went to the club in September and I did, but before then, before September, it was June. But anyways, y'all, at this point I'm rambling. I know this story has been very long, but yeah, that's that story time, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all made it to the end of this video, put this emoji on the screen. Definitely don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about this story, and I'll see y'all on the next story time. Later.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure that you cry for